Hi again, everyone. This little clip is going to be related to polynomials and how we work with them. So, um, I guess first of all, we should probably start with what is a polynomial. Well, a polynomial is something that has multiple variables in it. So, and I'll give an example. The equation of a line. Y equals mx plus b. That's an example of a polynomial. So pretty much when I have an x and a y as my variable, these numbers here, these are our coefficients, or our constants in this case, and they're just kind of the multipliers that go along the way. So let's take a look at some examples of some of these polynomials. So let's say we had 3x plus 2y. Well, that's a perfect example of a polynomial. There's very little we can do to kind of do anything with that. That's in as simple a form as it can be. Now, let's say, for example, we had 3 instead. We had plus 1x minus y. Let's say we had something like that. So now this polynomial is not in its simplest form. What we can do is, as long as our variable part is going to match up exactly, you can see that these match up and these two match up. So that means I should be able to regroup these, and the reason I can regroup these values is because of my commutative property of addition. So I'm just going to group these together. So I'm going to say, well, that's the same as me having 3x plus 1x plus 2y minus y. The reason I group them together is now because they have the same values or the same variables, I can actually add these two together. So, and when I add them, all I do is I just add my coefficients. So that's the same as 4x plus 2y minus y. Now I'm going to do the same thing with these two. 4x plus y, because 2y minus y will just give me y. Or if you don't want to leave it like that, sometimes it's good to put the 1 in. All depends on how your head works for that part. If you want to make sure there's always a number there, then always put your number there, would be my advice to you. So that's how that's a fairly simple example. Now sometimes you end up with slightly more complicated things. So you might have 3x plus 2xy plus 1yx plus 3. Now, when we look at this, on first glance, you say, well, there's nothing common here. I have an xy and a yx. Well, remember, our commutative property of multiplication doesn't matter what order we actually do that in that block. So inside of this little block here, the order of this doesn't matter. So I can actually rearrange that a little. I can say that's 3x plus 2xy plus 1xy plus 3. Now, well, that's 2xy plus 1xy, so now I have 3x plus 3xy plus 3. And that then will be your simplest form of that answer. Yeah, I guess technically you can factor the 3 out if you want, but I'm not that worried about that at this particular juncture. One thing you will find that you have to do with polynomials is you'll have to multiply them by each other. So let's just take a look at a couple of examples of that. So let's say you had 3x outside of 2x 3x squared plus 1. So if I'm going to do that, what am I going to do now? Well, I'm going to have to use my distributive property. And that'll become 3x times 2x squared plus 3x times 1. Alright, well, now what am I going to do? Well, let's see. I have 3x times 2x squared. That is going to end up being a spot where we get to add these together. So remember, we're multiplying two exponents. So x, you can think of x as x to the power of 1. So I want to say x times x squared is going to give me x cubed. And I want to multiply my coefficients. So I'll end up with 6x cubed plus, and all x cubed means is x to the power of 3. It's just, and all x squared means is x to the power of 2. They're just used quite often, so they've kind of gotten their own name. Almost anything else you'll actually say to the power of whatever. So 3x times 1, well, that's an identity one here, so that's going to be just simply 3x. Again, that is going to be my answer. Now, we have one other way that this can go that can be a bit strange. Let's say we had x plus y 3x minus 2y. So let's say we had something like this. Okay, so here's your other example. So what we're going to do here is we need to multiply these two numbers together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to have 3x times x. Then I'm going to do it again with this one multiplied by, or added to, I'm just going to bracket them here for now, minus 2y times x. Now I'll do this one and squiggly line, this one, and that'll be plus 3x times y plus 2y times y. That should be minus 2y times y. Alright, so now I need to kind of combine these up. So that's going to be 3x squared minus 2xy. Now I'm always going to, anytime I have an xy, I'm always going to put my x's first. That's just the way I'm going to do it. Plus 3xy minus 2y squared. So I can further simplify this because these have the same variables. I can't do anything with the other two though. So that's going to be 3x squared plus xy minus 2y squared. And that becomes my answer. So just make sure that you kind of follow that one with that one there and there, like that. So that's the order you want to multiply the things together. Just drop, if you're having trouble keeping everything straight, just put little brackets around it like I did here, and all should be good. And again, just a matter of working your way through it. It's going to take a little bit of time to get used to this, or to kind of get your feel back for it if you haven't been at it in a while. I'm sure it shouldn't be too much of an issue for any of you though. Anyway, I'm going to run for now, and I will talk to you all later.